Howdy folks, and welcome to another edition of Weed Hammer. Today we're going to be magnetizing a night armiger. I've got one that's not completely put together yet, but just to show you the end goal here. Where did I put that arm? Boy, it's right in front of my face, isn't it? So, this is going to work, yeah. Magnets in all the parts, right? So switch all the guns out. I got one, this torso bit too, embedded into some green stuff. That connects up with the bottom here. I didn't do the head because I don't know, I'm just gonna use the same head. But if you want to magnetize the head, you can do that too. And then this locks in real nice. Spins around, it's a pretty good bond. Pretty tight hold. So, things you're gonna need. Obviously, you're gonna need plastic glue. We're gonna have a little bit of green stuff. The first thing we'll do is probably mix that up. We'll need some super glue for the magnets, for the spots that we can't just entomb them. And then we've got the magnet set up right here. And I'll put the different sizes in the description, but you know, looking at body, lower torso, upper torso, the two shoulders, and then the four guns themselves. So these are the magnets you'll need. I'll put the actual sizes in the description. I got these at Menards. Magnetized some Terminators one day and was like, wow, I should do this with everything I have. Actually, anything that's got war gear, but now it seems like they're going to get rid of that whole war gear thing and just give you sort of one loadout for whatever unit. But I guess then you can switch amongst units and whatnot. In this case, what are they? Helverins to, gosh, what are they? No, not war dogs. Brigands? Something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we're gonna start with that lower torso bit that needs the green stuff. Just get that out of the way. I'm just mushing the green stuff up here, 2 equal parts. I probably used too much again, because all it needs to do is it just needs to fill this hole up, and then be very careful because you can see there's a little rim here that will slip around this other piece. So you need to make sure you don't completely cover that up so that that actually fits snug. On this one, I didn't take such precautions, so I had to go in and cut it off later. You know, now it fits pretty well. I just thought I'd leave it detached right now to show you guys how it works. And I'll wind up using the existing one as a master of sorts for the rest of the magnets, so we get them all facing the right way. I got a box of war dogs actually in the drawer waiting for this same exact process. I was originally going to use just this box and chaos one up, but I said, hey, what the heck, I'm gonna get that other box too and have like a true chaos sort of war dog. So for this part's pretty easy. We're just gonna do 2 pieces of green stuff. One is gonna be the top cover to embed it in there, and the other is gonna be the base to stick it into. So just shove it in there. And the best way to get this magnet facing the right way is to just put this piece right here. It's sitting in there, right? I'm gonna grab that big magnet. I'm just gonna drop it. Look at that. It's perfect. I don't know if it's quite perfect, but we know it's facing the right way. So now we're just gonna push it in. And you're just trying to push it as hard in there as you can. It's okay if it sticks up. We mainly just want to make sure that it's level, so that we get the thing sitting on there right. And where's that other bit of green stuff I had right here? I'm just gonna put that over top and Stick this down. And we're gonna test our fit on this. Let's see. Looks pretty good. And that's good. We're done with that. Pretty easy. If you got one already, like, have a master. I make sure that everything pulls inward toward, well, I guess, you know, everything's pulling toward the center. Nothing's like where one arm would repel off the other way. I don't do anything weird like that. I have them all going the same, toward the center of the model. So the counterpart to that is this. And we're just gonna do the same exact thing to get this sitting right. See how we can just sit that in there nice? So, let's get our super glue. Make sure you're on the right side. And just get around that rim. Super glue. Because this magnet, if you get the same size I did, will fit pretty dang nicely. Now this, you gotta be careful about. You don't want them touching necessarily because you might super glue it to itself. But drop it and then pull it off. And that's facing the right way now. Like, we know that's gonna work. So you can push it down yourself if you want. Anytime you can make the magnet place itself, the better. I'll show you another trick I like to do too. I'll use this guitar pick as a barrier so I can face it the right way and just pull it right off. Another really handy situation. All right, so, whoa, shit. Edit that out. That's where you gotta be careful. We got a little nipple sitting there. Let's separate these two because we don't want them gluing together. Let's separate them from quite afar. Yes. All right, we'll go to some easier ones. These guns are super easy. And the best way to do this is gonna be if we take my, I'll just show you how this is gonna work. So normally this plastic piece on the shoulder will go up in there, right here. And that just sort of fits in like right there. But we're gonna cut that out. That's gonna become a magnet. And then we're gonna need to have a magnet in this piston-y type piece too. So we wind up cutting that off completely, right? And then I drill a hole for another magnet to go in there. And that's how you wind up with these arms like this. Little magnet in there. If you can get it to stick up like just a tiny amount right there, that'll actually make it hold a little more securely. Like, they hold pretty well. You know, it's a little, it'll jiggle around a little bit, but it takes some work to get it to fall off. So yeah, on every one of these, I think the chainsaw is the only one that doesn't have a little slot like that. You just get a magnet in there. And since I said they always pull toward the center, I know that, well, you could use one of the body ones you just did. It should suction to the bottom of this green stuff, actually, if we're following the chain. So, here's that guitar pick. Green stuff, right? You can just set that on there. And I need one of these arm ones. Look at that. That's the right way. That needs to face up in the weapon. So, let me just show you. Slide that in there. It's kind of hard to see it here, but it just sits in there like that. And then we'll set her down. Do a little plastic glue. You know, do the regular thing you do here. Use it kind of a lot here, maybe too much. Just be careful you don't, you know, it'll try to jump out and hit this draw in here if you get it too close. So just be aware of that as well. It doesn't seem like it would have that much attraction to it, but it does. And then to get it together, just pop her on there. Let's see, see that? It's just embedded nicely in there. You squeeze her down. You know, I'll clean all this up too. I actually only need one of these, so I'm probably gonna wind up selling this one where it's mainly on the sprue except for the parts that needed to come off for the magnetizing. And we get the other one here. So let's do the same process. We're gonna take that first one we laid down, tar pick over it, magnet, now facing the right way, peel it off, make sure that that green stuff stays there. And if you need to go back and cut this to get it to fit again, or shave it down or something, that's fine too. So now we know this is up, inward, so we want to slide that back down in there like plinko. And that's in there. And someone just wants to zoom in on that other stuff. Again, don't try to not make direct contact with that one. If you can, make sure your pieces are in front and blind. Yep. And yeah, you can embed it in there. Got a little melty action there. Not the good kind. Not the powerful weaponry, not the meltas. Alright, so I want to set these way off to the side right now. Let me put them back here. This, you can put this together, this part, you can do that right away, right? And then it's the same thing here. You just got this other side of a piston instead. So we got our template. What the heck just fell there? Magnets. Be careful with magnets, everyone. Facing the right way. It faces up towards the center. We're going for the chainsaw thing. And see, yeah. Gotta be careful for that. It pulled out and got on there. So, it's fine. It's not a big deal at all. We'll just have to re-verify. Pull that off of there. Okay, cool. We get our fingers dirty a little bit. That's fine. There we go. It's in there. If you ever doubt that your magnet's facing the right way, recheck. Just recheck the polarity. If you've got this little fun concept of a master and the guitar pick, sheet of paper works. It's better if it's a little bit rigid, obviously, but double check. Does not take that long to do. And that's good. We'll set that off to the side. There's one more, and that is the thermal lance, I think this is called. This is the melter. This is like a big melter. All right, so we're gonna avoid that scenario. If you think you can move fast enough, you could plastic glue first. It's up to you if you want to do it first or not. I I think I just learned that you should do it first. It just makes it a quicker process. Let's get our master. Although my fingers have a little plastic glue on them, so I might mess with other stuff. You know, if you got rogue plastic glue on your fingers, see, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There's a little bit of fuzziness and some stringiness happening there. Easy fixes. So we got 4 guns done. We got the torso done. The only magnets left are these. I'm gonna spare you the details of how I do this exactly with the drilling, because I think you guys can figure out to use bigger and bigger drill sizes until it matches your magnets. But how I got this piece off, I cut the little nub first, right? And I just worked my way around, and this will eventually come popping off. Yeah, easy. And then there's this second layer, right? Pops up. That's our magnet, is going to be that part. So then we'll just keep going around, and just work it little by little, because we do not want to crack the plastic. We got a cat showing up. Jinx, come on, get down. There we go. There we go. No cats affected by super glue. Yeah, you're just gonna wanna get the center of that. Jeez. If anyone else has cats, they're probably used to them wanting to be the star, the center of attention, and she really knocked the tripod around. So back to what I was doing. Just, yeah, use a little pin vise drill and keep boring it out more and more. I think mine wound up being, this is like 3/16. I think it's 3/16. I got these little warmachine magnets, right? Warmachine. Yeah. 3/16. I'll put one in here to show you how I do that. Same process here. Use a template, everything's going in. So this will push right up into the arm. Now for this, we're going to, I just set that down right here. We're going to super glue it, and we're gonna put a lot of super glue in there. If you try to dry fit it, you might just wind up pushing it in there. So this is one of those things where, yeah, and if it goes like not quite right, smash it down in there. And this one I didn't get, come on, it's not quite perfectly flush, but I didn't want it perfectly flush. It's pretty close though. And you don't need to go over the top with super glue. It's gonna hold itself in there with all that we just put in. You really give it a smash down though to make sure it gets in there. And that is how you magnetize them up. Once this is all dry, I'll put them side by side, I guess, with the parts. Final thoughts, I guess. It's really not that hard to magnetize stuff. It's You think you're gonna ruin some stuff, you know, oh, I'm drilling into my models, but what else were you gonna do with them, right? So, enjoy. All right, so everything's pretty much dry now. So we can show off how all this kind of fits together. Those two clamp up nice. And then we got, they want to keep sticking together. We got all the guns. Looks up pretty good. And the other one. And that is how you magnetize main guns and body on a night armiger.